Have you ever wondered why there has been an alarming increase in global depression cases? In the past few, the world has witnessed a significant rise in the number of individuals grappling with the dark shadows of depression. It's an issue that is no longer confined to a specific country or culture, but one that has spread its tendrils across the globe, affecting millions of people of all ages, from all walks of life. The World Health Organization reports that depression is now the leading cause of disability worldwide, affecting more than 300 million people. That's equivalent to the entire population of the United States. And these numbers are on the rise. By 2030, it's projected that depression will be the #1 global burden of disease, surpassing heart disease, cancer, and other major health concerns. But what's driving this global depression? The answer is complex and multifaceted. It's a combination of many factors, from our fast-paced, high-stress lifestyles to economic instability, to the increasing reliance on technology and social media, which can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness. Moreover, the ongoing global pandemic only exacerbated the situation, as people grapple with unprecedented levels of stress, fear, and uncertainty. The isolation and economic fallout from the pandemic have led to a surge in mental health issues, with depression being a major concern. But it's not just the numbers that are concerning, it's the ripple effect that depression has on individuals, families, and communities. Depression doesn't just affect the person suffering from it, but everyone around them. It impacts productivity, relationships, and overall quality of life. And the cost, both emotional and economic, is staggering. So what can we do about it? How can we turn the tide on this global health crisis? The answer lies in understanding what depression is, how it manifests, and how it can be treated. In order to address this issue first, we need to understand what depression truly is. Like, share and subscribe for more value-adding content. Depression, a word often misused and misunderstood. What does it truly mean? Depression is not just a fleeting feeling of sadness or a temporary reaction to a challenging situation. It's a mental health disorder that affects how we think, feel, and act. When we talk about feeling depressed, we often refer to a state of low mood that everyone experiences from time to time. It's a natural response to loss, life struggles, or self-esteem issues. However, this temporary state of sadness is not the same as having clinical depression. Clinical depression, also known as major depressive disorder, is a more severe form of depression. It's not just about feeling down for a few days. It's about experiencing a persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest in activities that once brought joy. It can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems and can decrease a person's ability to function at work or at home. Symptoms of clinical depression may include persistent sadness, feelings of hopelessness, irritability, decreased energy, difficulty sleeping or sleeping too much, changes in appetite, and thoughts of death or suicide. These symptoms must last for at least 2 weeks for a diagnosis of clinical depression. The causes of depression are complex and not completely understood. They include a combination of biological, psychological, and social sources of distress. Factors such as genetics, brain chemistry, personality, and environmental influences can contribute to the onset of depression. The effects of depression are far-reaching. It can affect every aspect of a person's life, from their physical health to their relationships and work life. Depression can lead to physical health problems, difficulties at work or school, problems in relationships, and an increased risk of suicide. Depression is a serious condition that requires professional treatment. It's not something that a person can just snap out of. It's not a sign of weakness or a character flaw. The distinctions are clear, but the societal understanding of these differences is far from satisfactory. It's time to break the stigma associated with depression and foster a more understanding society. Let's continue this conversation and work towards a world where mental health is as openly discussed and understood as physical health. Why do people often shy away from seeking help for depression? This question has a multitude of answers, but one of the most significant factors is the societal misconceptions and stigma associated with depression. Depression is often misunderstood, with many in society failing to recognize it as a serious and legitimate illness. Some may perceive it as simply feeling sad or blue, and thus believe that it's something that one can just snap out of. This is a damaging misconception. Depression is a severe mental health condition, and like any physical ailment, it requires proper treatment and care. Another barrier is the stigma that's deeply rooted in our society. Many people with depression fear judgment and discrimination. They worry about being labeled as weak or incompetent, which can often prevent them from seeking help. It's essential to understand that depression is not a sign of weakness. It's an illness, not a character flaw. Moreover, the stereotype that depression is a result of personal failure or lack of willpower is still widely prevalent. Such misconceptions can lead to self-blame among those suffering, further exacerbating their condition. Depression is not a choice, and it's certainly not a result of personal failure. It's a complex interplay of genetic, biological, environmental, and psychological factors. There's also a misconception that talking about depression only makes it worse. This couldn't be further from the truth. Open conversations about mental health can help to normalize these discussions, reduce stigma, and encourage more people to seek help. Lastly, there's a common myth that only certain people get depressed. Depression does not discriminate. It can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, race, or socioeconomic status. The stigma and misconceptions surrounding depression are not just harmful, they're dangerous. They can deter people from seeking help, delay treatment, and even lead to a worsening of symptoms. Addressing these misconceptions is a crucial step towards combating the global rise in depression cases. Let's start by educating ourselves and others, fostering empathy, and cultivating an environment of understanding and acceptance. Because the truth is that depression is real, it's serious, and it's treatable. What role does society play in addressing the rise of depression cases? This is a question that merits careful consideration. Society as a whole has a significant role to play in tackling this rising global problem of depression. Depression is not a personal failing. It's a societal issue that requires societal solutions. We are all part of this intricate social fabric, and our actions, or lack thereof, can profoundly impact the mental health of those around us. One of the most powerful tools at our disposal is spreading awareness. This is more than just sharing statistics and facts about depression. It's about fostering an environment where open, honest conversations about mental health are not just accepted but encouraged. It's about debunking the myths that perpetuate harmful stigmas and misunderstanding. It's about educating ourselves and others that depression is not a sign of weakness, but a serious health condition that requires understanding and empathy. Supporting mental health initiatives is another crucial way society can help. This could mean advocating for policies that prioritize mental health, or backing organizations that provide resources and support for those struggling with depression. Every bit of support counts, and collectively, we can make a significant impact. Moreover, promoting inclusivity is key. It's vital to create spaces where everyone, regardless of their mental health status, feels valued, respected, and included. This can be as simple as being kind and patient, or as significant as ensuring workplaces and schools have policies to support those with mental health conditions. Depression is a complex issue with no one-size-fits-all solution. But one thing is clear, it's not just about the individual, but about the society they exist within. We all have a part to play in this. Whether it's by spreading awareness, supporting mental health initiatives, promoting inclusivity, or simply being there for someone in need, every action matters. Only through collective action can we hope to curb the rise in global depression cases. Remember, it may seem like a daunting task, but together, we are powerful. And together we can make a difference. The rise in depression cases is not just a statistic, it's a call to action. We've journeyed through the landscape of this global concern, exploring the sharp increase in depression cases worldwide. It's not just a fleeting feeling of sadness or a moment of low spirits. It's a serious, debilitating condition that affects millions, and it's on the rise. We've delved into understanding depression, dispelling the confusion between feeling depressed and clinical depression. It's not a choice or a sign of weakness. It's a medical condition that requires attention and care, just like any physical ailment. We've also confronted the misconceptions and stigma that often surround mental health issues. These harmful stereotypes can deter people from seeking help, intensifying their struggle. We've learned that society's misunderstanding and judgment can be as damaging as the illness itself. In the fourth scene, we highlighted the crucial role of societal action in combating this escalating issue. It's not enough to merely acknowledge the problem. We must actively work towards making our communities more understanding, more supportive, and more inclusive. Now it's time for action. Let's break the silence around mental health. Spread awareness about depression. Educate others about its reality. Encourage open conversations. Support mental health initiatives in your community. Make it known that it's okay to seek help. Promote inclusivity. Let's make our spaces safe and welcoming for everyone, regardless of their mental health status. Let's be kinder, more understanding, more patient. Remember, small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Finally, let's support each other. Depression can affect anyone, and the person struggling might be closer than you think. Reach out, lend a listening ear, offer a comforting word. Sometimes that's all it takes to light a lamp in someone's life. Remember, it could be someone else today. Tomorrow it could be you. Let's light a lamp in someone's life.